I mentioned at the beginning of the program, the Property Council has revealed Melbourne has the highest office vacancy rate in the whole country. Nearly 1 in 5 CBD offices completely empty for over 12 months. I know places like the radio station 3AW where Karalee works, the building there, the only people in the, I think it's about a 6 or 7 story building right in the CBD of Melbourne. The only tenant is 3AW, or it was until recently. Is that right, Karalee?
It is, Steve. It's 3AW and it's also AMSA as well that have just moved in a few months ago. But you're right. And I mean, this is another badge that Victoria really doesn't need. We're already the protest capital of Australia. We're the pothole capital. We're the youth crime capital. We're the machete attack capital, as you featured so beautifully on Credlin last night. This is something, I mean, we've gone to an 18% vacancy rate, the highest in the nation. Pre-pandemic, it's only 5 years ago, we were down to 3.4%. And the thing is, it sends the wrong message out. I also want to say this is a stunt by Jacinta Allan and the Victorian Labor government, because last time I checked, it was 30 years ago that the Victorian state government handed over its industrial relations law to the federal government. So they actually can't legislate on this, but mandating that whether you work privately or publicly, or in public service, that you have, it's enshrined 2 days a week working from home. That does not send a positive message out for investment, to attract investment from overseas, to attract investment from interstate as well. And it's the wrong message to send out. This can easily be sorted between an employer and an employee. And as we know, with frontline workers, it really is dividing. Not everyone can do a work from home. And Jacinta Allan just knows it's a thought bubble. She can't legally do anything about this. And I just hope that the state opposition really fires up. The elections next year, come on, everyone's got to get behind this and call it out for what it is, a thought bubble.
Yeah, when you go to Sydney, you just realise what a more bustling capital city that's become. James, early last year, Premier Minns warned his MPs who were speaking out about the Gaza war that if they should become an MP, go down the road to Canberra if they want to focus on international affairs. What's he going to do about that group of ministers, including Penny Sharp, who decided to march in that pro-Palestine rally across Sydney Harbour Bridge on the weekend?
Well, that's right, Stephen. And this is a problem not just for the New South Wales Labor Party, but for Labor caucuses all over the country, including the federal caucus, is that every time this issue comes to hand, you have people that are widely divided on the Middle East. And indeed, anyone from the Labor left seems to be convinced that, Israel, this monstrous government that have just been, railroading over the top. And I mean, as we know, and this has been discussed at length over the past few days, everyone can have sympathy for what's going on in the Middle East. And indeed, some of what is occurring is tragic, but no one seems to be able to answer the question in regards to a two-state solution about what that actually means for the elected government of the Palestinian district, which is Hamas, who are a terrorist organisation. Are they part of this? Are they on the table? Everyone seems to be shying from that and just condemning Israel and the Israeli government all at once. But for Labor, this is a minefield. And when you have Chris Minns, who's made comments previously, but also understands that if he goes and dies on a hill about this, there's too many members of the caucus that are going the other way. And yeah, you had ministers and MPs, multiple MPs, plus the former long-time Premier Bob Carr taking part in that protest on the weekend. There's a wider issue here as well, Steve, in regards to the protest laws. And look, there's laws in New South Wales, or there's meant to be, about people blocking major infrastructure like roads, like ports, like trains. And it's interesting the police and the government haven't taken that line when opposing these protests up until now. So certainly we've got a precedent over the weekend, and it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. But yeah, definitely at a federal level as well, as we know, there's been a lot of MPs and ministers that have been very gun-shy on this issue. And one of the issues for that is votes and who's voting for the Labor Party and who is in these seats.
Absolutely spot on. Karalee, James, thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week.